people leave you out here to do it, then you gotta do it, you feel me? Don't nobody tell me to be quiet. Don't nobody run this mouth but me. Ain't nobody gonna shut me down or shut me up. My whole life has been surrounded by toxic people and toxic situations and unhealthy situations, and I don't want that in my life no more. I don't deserve for that to be in my life, because I'm a good person. I am. And I'm not gonna let nobody tell me that I'm not a good person in my heart. I'm here to talk about 2020 and how toxic it's been to my life, to my mental health, to my spirituality, to my journey. It's just been super toxic. And I'm making this video because I'm going back to my basics, y'all. This is what I know. I know how to sit here and talk to y'all, and I know that this essentially helps me more than anything. I know it opens the door for people to come in and say negative things about me and my life. I'm aware of that, but people can say whatever they like, you know. All I know is that all 2020 I try to really be a good person to the people around me and show them that I care about them and show them that, you know, I love them despite whatever. That was my goal. And if that's who I am, it's not just me telling you I love you, it's me doing certain things to help you, help us, whatever the case may be. That's just the person I am inside. And I don't know if I can be that person no more, you know what I'm saying? After everything that I've been through in 2020. So, you know, let's just talk about it. It's gonna be a long video, so I hope you guys are ready to watch it. And so, starting off in January of 2020, I went to Vegas. I went with my cousin and her family, and it was super cool. Like, the only thing was Vegas was super cold, y'all. It was freezing in Vegas. I don't know why it was that cold, but it was cold as fuck. And I didn't think to have like a nice heavy jacket. Like, that's really what I needed, like a nice heavy jacket. But I thought maybe like as long as I packed pants, you feel me, like whatever. It was cold, y'all. It was cold. So when I got home, I was super sick. My lupus flared up out of control. I don't know if it was the weather climate, the change there, the flight. I know a lot of things can trigger my lupus from years of experience. I know flying triggers my lupus, and it triggers my panic attacks. It was so bad. Like, it was super bad. And when I returned back to work, I had advised my team lead at the time. I let her know. And basically I had sent her a text letting her know that I went to the hospital on a Sunday. They gave me a doctor's note for me not to return to work until Wednesday. I had to be back at work on that Tuesday, so I texted to make sure that it was okay that I stayed out until Wednesday. She had responded back and told me, yes, of course I have proof. This is why I send texts. This is why I send emails. This is why I go about things the way that I do, so that I can always have proof. Anyway, after all of that happened, she had came to me on Saturday and was asking me, like, I seen her the rest of the week, Thursday and Friday. She waited until Saturday to send me an email telling me that I was over my amount of points. She was asking if I could get the doctor's note changed. So in other words, what I took that as is she wanted me to do some other shit that I had no business doing. You know what I'm saying? Instead of her being like, you know what, Jeanette, I apologize that I advised you incorrectly or anything like that. It was never that. She went around telling people that I was lying. Like, I got the text. Why would I lie about that? You're putting my job at risk, bro. At this point, you're putting my job at risk. My health is already shitty right now. Now you're putting my job at risk. Why? Why would you do that to somebody? And then not to be woman enough to say, you know what, because we were cool, or at least I thought we were cool, but like from what I've gathered and what I've learned is that I am gullible. I see people and they show me something, even when the red flags are there, even when they treat other people a certain type of way, for some reason it doesn't correlate to me. Oh, the way that they treat that person, if they're capable of doing that person like that, imagine what they're capable of doing to you. To you. You have to really watch your surroundings. That is what I've learned in 2020. Watch how people move, even the people closest to you, even the people who you think would never do you wrong. You watch them. You watch them because they're going to show you who they are by the things that they do. Not by the things that they say, but by the things that they do, their actions. She has, as a team lead, like, I'm talking about her and a lot of other people in my life, but she, as a team lead, never got done the things that she said that she would get done. She would say things like, oh, I'm gonna make sure of this, and then that never happens. And then for me, it's just like, okay, well, it's not that big of a deal, so I'm not gonna freak out about it or speak about it. No, speak up. Like, okay. I don't like confrontation, and it's crazy because people think that I like confrontation. A certain person thinks that I like confrontation, and I really don't. And it's so sad because I really don't. Let's carry on. So after that happened in January, I'm going through all of this shit. I'm possibly about to lose my job. All of these people saying this, saying that, saying that, you know, they fought for me, they did this for me. Like, it's just so toxic. You feel me? It's so toxic. After all of that happened, one of my sisters needed to move in, which I'm okay with anytime, any fucking time. And she moved in with her kids. And my ex we were still living together at that time, and he had stopped going to work. And it's crazy because one day he came and woke me up and said that they were laying people off, and I was like, laying people off for cutting hours. So I was like, okay, well, maybe you should start looking for another job. You feel me? I even took it as far as sending him like jobs that I knew, like the experience that he had, like boom, send him these jobs, boom. Never applied to none of those jobs. Left me to pay all the bills, so I sat there and I cried. I just was going through so much, and it's not because he put me through that in that moment that I felt like super betrayed by him. It was because when he did have a job and he was working, he would still spend all his money and leave me to pay for certain things and leave me to do things by myself. And it wasn't a 50-50 relationship in my eyes. And that hurts, you feel me? Because anytime that we needed something, I was going out there and get it. If I needed to sell my shit, if I needed to whatever, I was going out there to get it. You feel me? I didn't get that in return because I was left to pay everything, or I had to wait for him to give me money to pay certain things that we agreed to pay on together. My credit was affected by that. And this is where I started to learn and I started to realize, Janae, you made these decisions. You made these decisions. And you had one thought process, not thinking of the negative connotations that comes with this. Everything good, sometimes there is something negative that comes with that. You feel me? Like, people leave you out here to do it, then you gotta do it, you feel me? So, I had ended the relationship because I realized what was happening. You know, I realized that I was being taken advantage of, and I realized that I was becoming angry. I also realized that the relationship was becoming toxic. Yeah, I ended it because at the end of the day, like, you need to have the mindset that you want to make sure that your bills are straight. You have to have the mindset that you want to make sure that there's food in the house. You have to have the mindset that you want to make sure that there's gas in the car. You know what I'm saying? You have to have the mindset that you want to drive around in something nice, live in something nice. You know what I'm saying? If you don't have those minds, if you don't have that mindset and you don't really care, then of course you're not going to care about the value of what you have right now. You get what I'm saying? The value of the woman that you have or anything of that sort. You're not going to care about that. For me, what I can say is that I feel like I went through so much counseling and shit like that to try to be able to control my anger, just to allow somebody to bring that out of me, which is really frustrating. Always said I would rather end the relationship before it becomes something super toxic and unhealthy and I start to hate you or we start to hate each other. I always said that. Why? Because I don't like, my whole life has been surrounded by toxic people and toxic situations and unhealthy situations, and I don't want that in my life no more. I don't deserve for that to be in my life because I'm a good person. I am. And I'm not gonna let nobody tell me that I'm not a good person in my heart, because anything that I've ever done, it's not to use it later to be spiteful. It's not to none of that. It's literally because I felt like that was best. And I'm young, so I'm learning, and I don't know everything, but I'm learning. I'm learning. Somebody to learn something, I'm learning. Anyway, we end up getting into it talking about like trying to get out the lease. For me, you're leaving me to pay damn near $1,000 by myself. Over that, because of the utilities, the gas, all of this, like the fucking food, all of that shit, you're leaving me to pay that shit by myself. So yeah, we need to figure out how to get out of the how to get out of the lease together. Instead, he took that as, okay, well, I'm getting ready to leave. Like, instead of having a conversation, he called his family up to help him pack his shit to move out, saying like, I'll help you pay half of this, half of that. Like, bro, I can't trust that you're gonna do that, because you keep telling me that you're gonna do shit. Your word is not your bond. So for me, it's just like, bro, give me my car. You feel me? I just paid this whole car note. I'm gonna come get my shit. So I went and I took my car, and then his sister decided that that was a perfect time for her to send. She gonna DM me because I said, you know, something under the lines of someone manipulating me. Because that's what it's been, a bunch of manipulation, and then to switch it and have your people thinking that I'm manipulating you is like, they don't know me like how you know me. So for you to even allow somebody to paint me in that type of light, it's like, yeah, that's just, I can't fuck with you. I can't. But as far as his family goes, he's let them ruin the relationship that we have, because he's went to them and confided. He keeps confiding in these people that he knows is just gonna take his side. One day he decided that he was gonna leave the car doors unlocked, and somebody stole my bioptic lens, which I need those to drive, which they're $4,000, which I go through a program to even be able to get my license, where a whole bunch of doctors have to sign off on my shit, and it's so hard to do anything. So as of right now, I still don't have my license when I was supposed to have my license back in February. And with all of that shit going on, I thank everybody on Twitter who donated and everybody who told me to make a GoFundMe, because those glasses were specifically for me. So I was just hoping that somebody would return them. I was just hoping that somebody would just like drop them off and be like, you know what, I don't know what the fuck these are. Like, I can't sell them. You can't sell them to nobody. You would only be able to sell them to me, because, you feel me, they were for me. You know what I'm saying? And we filed a police report, but there was nothing that could be done because he left the car doors unlocked. After that, I felt like my world was just crumbling, like, because, like, y'all, I've been at this for 4 years trying to get my license. I would have never got the car had I thought that I wasn't gonna be able to get my license. After that whole situation happened, I cleaned house. I made it, like, I really started to, I'm like, Janae, you know, get your shit together. And here in March, things was getting crazy at my job, and I started having stomach issues. And it was consistent for like 3-4 months. It's just nothing but diarrhea, like, or me not eating for days, me always being nauseous, but nothing but diarrhea, like barely had any normal stools, whatever. Go to the doctors, find out that I got IBS. Around the same time that I was able to actually get into the doctors, my mom had lost her job, which I was on her health insurance. So the lady had told me to take fiber proteins to help with my stomach issues, but I'm still going through it to this day. It started in March until August now. There's like days that I won't eat, and it's not because I don't want to eat. I swear to y'all, it's not because I don't want to eat. I just can't eat. And that's another reason why I smoke. I smoke to help with my appetite. I smoke to help with my emotional issues, because like y'all, I was literally, when I was recording on my camera, I was crying, bro. I was sitting there, I didn't even smoke nothing, and I was just sitting there bawling on the fucking camera, like trying to wipe my eyes, trying to talk to y'all, but my camera died. Like, I want to be better for myself, and I made a promise to myself that I'm gonna be better for me. And I also made a promise to myself that I'm a once you show me what you need to show me, I'm gonna take that, you feel me, and move on with my life. I can't keep taking L's. I cannot keep taking L's. So I started having the stomach issues. The job was stressing me out. When I went to the doctors, the first thing she asked me, like, do you have anxiety? And I was just like, yeah, well, one of the things when I was telling her what was going on with me, she asked if I had anxiety, which was yes. I was talking to the nurse, not the doctor, but the nurse. And, which should have been in my paperwork now that I think about it, because it's right there on my OSU My Chart thing. But she was just like, you know, does like when the job stresses you out, do you feel like you have to use the bathroom more? And I was just like, yeah, bro. Every time I'm on break, like there would be times that I would have to put my customers on hold because my stomach was hurting so bad and I had to go to the bathroom. Like, shit is not a joke. So I was dealing with that. I've been battling with like my depression and anxiety and shit like that for like the last like 3-4 months too. And I've been afloat for a while up until this whole move. This whole move has been so fucking stressful. It makes it even hard for me to talk about. So I moved in on July 24th. And I feel like my world has came crashing down. And I know that I've been through worse things in my life, and I know somebody who's probably right across the street from me is going through something worse. But when you have mental illness, sometimes certain situations that you're in makes you feel so low. You know what I'm saying? Just so low. And I'm gonna build myself back up, y'all. I swear, I'm going to build myself back up. I'm gonna do it. I don't know how. I don't know if these YouTube videos is gonna be what it is or what, but I'm going to do this. So on move-in day, told him a few days prior that I didn't have the money. I had asked him to get the U-Haul and the dog some food, and he had told me the day prior that he would be able to get the U-Haul. But then the next day, when it was actually time to move, he was just saying how he couldn't, how he had to pay for all of this other stuff. And I'm just like, bro, like, I sent him the money. That same day, this lady, while I was pulling out because she wasn't paying attention, I was pulling out. She wasn't paying attention. She just came right in, boom, hit the back of the car. I go to move in here, and there's no AC. They never advised that there wouldn't be AC. There's a whole AC thing in the basement, but I guess it just don't work. So I had to get, I needed to get some air conditioners. My baby, my dog, was freaking the fuck out because of how hot it was, and because it was so cluttered, because I had so much stuff, it made it even more hot. You know what I'm saying? So I called him. He was 5 minutes away. He had told me that no, he couldn't come run me 5 minutes away to the appliance store because his grandfather was eating. And y'all can tell me if I'm wrong, but everybody that I've spoken to about this situation has kind of just looked at me like, if he was waiting for his grandfather to finish eating so that he could handle whatever he needed to handle with him as far as getting money from him, why would he not just come run you to the store? Because by the time he got back there, his grandpa would have been done eating. And the store was about to close in the next hour. And I was just like, bruh, like, then, like, when I'm actually in need and when it's actually time to help me, I see. So I was trying to set up my work computer and stuff like that because I work from home. Spectrum said that I was just gonna be able to plug my stuff up. It should work. Wasn't the case, but before I could even do all of that, I needed my strip, you know, the power cord strip with the multiple things that y'all know what I'm talking about. Y'all know. I don't know what it's called. Extension cord with the multiple plugs things. That thing. I had $10 up to my name. I told him that I needed to go back out north to get the power strip. I needed that power strip cord. So either I was going to get the power strip or try to find a store that was open that sold them so that I was able to plug up my stuff for work. He comes. He keeps saying little stuff in the car, like trying to like have me have a conversation with him, and I just didn't want to. I literally didn't want to because I explained to my family, which they clearly didn't realize. Every time I tried to have a conversation with this man, either he walked away or he blew up on me. I just wasn't able to say how I felt about some shit, and it just, you know, not be some other bullshit. You feel me? It was just always like always. So with that being said, we get the power strip cord. I'm not saying shit because I don't have shit to say. On the way back home, because I found the cord, I gave him my $10 to put gas in the car. He's in the store and he calls and he's asking me, do I want any snacks? So you're more than willing to take my last bit of money after that morning you telling me that you couldn't pay for this stuff, but you have money, you feel me? You're asking me, do I want some snacks? So then after he gets back in the car, he calls his cousin and he's just like, oh, I'm gonna get us some food. And I'm like, bro, I would never in my life, ever in my life do him the way that he's done me. Like, there's times where I was still Ubering to work while he had the car. I was paying half of the car note, which is $230 every month, my half. On top of that, I was still Ubering and still putting gas in the car. No care in the world, bro. And I can't blame nobody but myself. I can't blame nobody no more but myself. But anyway, after that, I started telling him how I felt. I was so calm. I spoke like this, all of this, and he just flipped on me. He flipped, bro. The situation happened. I was just like, I know that I really cannot fuck with this man, and I really just need to, you feel me, go and have some time to myself for myself, because I'm going through a lot of shit. After that happened, the whole situation with the job happened, and I don't even want to talk about that no more. I will link the description or link the video thing at the top so that you guys can click on that link so that y'all know how I was scammed out of a job and now I'm jobless. But yeah, that's a part of the reason why 2020 is ass and I'm going crazy. But yeah, so after all of that happened, I took time out. You feel me? This man. So let's talk about Saturday. Saturday, he tried to treat me like I was just angry or that my tone was bad or like, you know, all of this shit, all because I wanted to go to the vet for Big Boy. I mean, not to the vet, to the pet store. Because something's wrong with my dog that he doesn't want to help take care of. let's add on to that he said that he would. You know what I'm saying? This is a part of the reason why his word is not his bond. And that's why I didn't even tell y'all. I didn't jump to Saturday. I'm sorry, I didn't write nothing down. I just came on here to talk to y'all this morning. Before I even get into that, he had got mad one night and punched. He's always punching things, breaking things, slamming things, like, just always. And my brother had sat down and had a conversation with me and let me know, like, Janae, those are beginning signs of domestic violence. You know what I'm saying? But that's neither here nor there. He ended up leaving, and I ended up blocking him. I was just tired. I was so tired of the fighting. I was so tired of just not being heard. I was just so tired of all of that. And on Father's Day, he knew that I was working that day, and he decided that he wanted to come over, have a conversation. He decided to allow his sister to be in my home and in my space. He also allowed his sister to disrespect me while I was on the phone working and I couldn't defend myself. His whole family popped up. That was the first strike for me where it was just like, I can't really trust you. But I'm not going to blame you because I know you didn't call your family to come over here. Your sister did. So but at that point, I knew that I couldn't trust his family. I knew that I could not trust his family. And as much as I wanted to, like, I even reached out and sent his mom a text. But after that whole situation, I was just like, no, something is real wrong. Something is real wrong, and my guard immediately went up because that's not how me and my family roll. And my family was real pissed, like they was ready to go fight, and I was ready to fight too. You feel me? Because at the end of the day, you're putting where I lay my head in jeopardy, and you're okay with that. You feel me? But when I do the same thing, it's, why are you doing this? Y'all? So let's just jump to Saturday. I'm missing some things, y'all. I am, but these are just like the major things in my life to where it's just like, this is just shit. This shit has just been affecting me for too long. Saturday, I had called because Big Boy's sick. He's sick. It just makes me so mad. It makes me so mad because I don't know what's wrong with him. And I don't have a job right now, so I can't just be taking him to the vet because this shit is expensive. This shit gets expensive. I've had to take Big Boy to the vet multiple of times, and this shit is super expensive. Like, it's just expensive. Saturday comes, I let him know. He's like, why didn't you tell me earlier that you needed to go to the pet store? And I was like, I just woke up. Like, I've been asleep all day, which I told him that in the text messages. Just like he told me that he wasn't doing anything. He literally told me that he wasn't doing anything after he got off of work, that he didn't know if he felt like door dashing. So when I called, I didn't understand what the problem was. But then he told me like, oh, I don't like your tone. And then like, your tone, you're trying to argue with me. You don't like the word no. Like, he was saying things to antagonize the situation, but he won't ever admit that. And I'm more than sure he was around other people when he was doing that. So I'm just like, what are you doing to where I can't go to the pet store real quick? Remind you guys that this is my car. Even though we share the car, I'm the owner of the car. I just don't have my license. And I don't have my license, and I explained to you guys why I don't have my license right now. With that being said, I'm like, so why can't you? You feel me? You're asking me why I didn't tell you earlier, and I'm asking you why you can't. I just can't. So I'm like, bro, you're trying to treat me a certain way because you're in front of other people. I don't never switch up on that man. I don't never switch up how I talk, how I act, how I'm feeling, because we're around other people. I don't. I just told him, like, please just drop the car off before 10 o'clock because everything closes early due to COVID. Like, I was being so reasonable, y'all. I don't understand, like, why treat me like that? And I'm being fucking reasonable. I'm being nice and being kind. I mean, everything. And I'm emotionally unstable. And I also make that very clear. When you say certain things, I'm going to respond back to them. Don't expect me to just not say nothing because you want to say what you want to say. And then he tried to say that he didn't say that. I'm like, bro, are you fucking crazy? Like, you did say that. Be real. Keep it a buck. I hate when people don't be real and don't keep it a buck. If you don't remember saying that, that's one thing. You feel me? A lot of times when you get to having these conversations, sometimes you don't remember shit. There's times I don't remember saying certain shit. And if I said something that hurt you, I'm going to apologize for it because I don't remember saying it. But if you're telling me I said it, hey, I may have really said that to you. You know what I'm saying? The tongue is so powerful, you get to saying shit you don't even know. That's not me. Sorry, y'all. My best friend stopped by to see me. She probably gonna see this video because she be supporting me. I thank her for everything. I thank her for coming and sitting and talking with me. I thank my best friend, bro. I love her to death. But that same night, he had, come here, boy. Come here. That same night, he had, sit down. Sit, baby. Good boy. Good boy. That same, my stomach's starting to hurt. That same day, I'm sitting there. I sent him some text messages. Basically, I had told him, like, let me know if you're at home. Because at that point, I just wanted to go get my car. I just wanted to be done with the whole situation. Like, I literally just wanted to be done with the situation. He wouldn't respond back. Just like the last incident I told you guys. He'll just look at it, read it, and not respond back. And then, and he had accidentally answered the phone, and then he had hung it up, and then he had turned his phone off. Like, it's just crazy stuff that he was just doing. Like, you're doing all of this stuff, and you know that it was going to trigger me. You knew that there was going to be a problem. So 10 o'clock passes, nothing. I know where you're at. Like, I know where you're at, not because I'm on no stalker shit, not because I'm on no weird shit. You're on my phone plan, bro. So, whatever. I go to his house. I text him real nice, y'all. I'm like, hey, I'm here. I just want my stuff. I really don't want to come knock on your door. I call, no answer. I swear, y'all, I can show proof. Like, I'm not lying. I really be trying to be so unconfrontational. Me and Ari sat there, which is my very good close friend, and she was just like, what's the plan? I'm like, I don't want no problems. I just want my things. And I'm just like, I'm gonna leave the phone, forget the phone. He can keep the phone. That was the initial plan. Then his location on his phone kind of changed, so we went around, but I had seen the car. Like, I knew it was them. He called his whole family, bro. So it was like, you was set. Like, I'm so happy that I had my people with me, because for me, I felt like you tried to set me up, and now I can't never in my life ever trust you again. You knew what you were doing. You feel me? Like, that shit, that made me so angry inside. But at the same time, because it's just like, I just explained to you, I was emotionally unstable. You know how I already feel with my guard being up due to the fact of your sister coming into my house, disrespecting me, banging on my, like, doing all types of just crazy shit. So immediately I was so angry inside. Like, I cannot believe this. And then I go, and he threw the couch out that I gave him, the blanket and the pillow. And I was just sitting there looking like, first of all, you know this is not what I came here for. Secondly, I gave you that out the kindness of my heart, because you didn't have nowhere to live. And when you came to me and told me that you ain't have a blanket, boom, you feel me? Because that's what you're supposed to do. Regardless if we're not together, regardless of anything. When you say that you care about somebody, you mess with them and they need you feel me? For me, if you need, I got you. But again, everybody is not like me. Everybody is not like me. So then my sister was mad about that. I laughed, because I'm like, I don't know if you did this or they did this. You know what I came here for. I came here for my keys. I came here for my card, and now I want my phone. You threw out the couch that I gave. Like, bruh, you now you're just being petty. So give me everything so that I legit don't have to speak to you. His mom come answering the door all crazy. My sister right there, and she's not scared of nothing. None of us is pretty much. You jumping out. You feel me? That don't scare me. I'm not scared easily. You feel me? Especially if I'm not in the wrong. So he jumps in front. You know what I'm saying? I'm going off. I didn't go off until I just want my keys. I can't give you the keys. That's when I turned up. Honestly, I did turn up. And I don't feel bad about turning up, y'all, because how are you letting these people in your ear, but they're not giving you the same opportunities that I have? I want nothing but, when you want nothing but good for somebody, you try not to put them in situations to where good can't come to them. But then when you take advantage of somebody, it's like, I can't mess with you. I need to break every single, anything, any relation that we have. I need to end all of that. There should be no reason why we need to contact each other. None of that. So all of this arguing is going back and forth. Ari has grabbed me because I'm going off. Sharee's trying to talk to them. They're telling Sharee that she needs to be quiet, this, that, and the third. All of this just crazy stuff. And Sharee's just like, bro, at the end of the day, like, anytime y'all had y'all problem, y'all situation, you feel me, I would talk to both of y'all. Anytime I would talk to both. And that same day, that whole day, last Saturday, when all of this was happening, my oldest sister called him and Sharee called him, and all they was like, you let these people get in your ear. It didn't even need to be all of this. You knew what I was coming here for. You set me up. That's what you did. You set me up. You set me up. You know that you can't control your family. I can control my peoples. We came here for our mission. You feel, but you can't even control your people. So you knew that some bad things was bound to happen with you doing what you did. You antagonized the whole situation. But y'all telling me that I need to be quiet when you know that this car, first of all, we're supposed to be sharing a car. Secondly, I just put half of the car note down for a car that I'm not driving. And again, I've made it very clear in this video, can't blame nobody but myself. I make mistakes. I'm not perfect. I just thought that I was doing the right shit. God's honest truth. I just thought that I was doing the right things. And there's so much more that, again, like I told y'all, that's happened. Y'all don't understand the half. Y'all don't understand the half. Like, we're standing out there and he's like, I tell my mom everything, the good and the bad. No, you don't. No, you don't. And mama, for you to believe this, I don't know what to tell you. You feel me? You're gonna have to take care of him. Because that's what he wants. He wants somebody to take care of him. He wants somebody to take care of him and his life and everything that he has going on, instead of him taking care of it himself. Had he just gave me the keys, I would have kept the car for the 2 weeks and let it be what it was. Now I'm not. No, please do not come to my house, especially after we're standing out there. His aunt's like, take the tags off the car, like trying to be petty. And then like when everything happened, like oh, you need to be quiet. Don't nobody tell me to be quiet. Don't nobody run this mouth but me. Ain't nobody gonna shut me down or shut me up.